Sure. Thank you guys for coming. We are heading into week, is it 5? Is it week 5 of Big Sky play?
I think so.
4. We played 8 games. So week 5, almost to the halfway mark. We had 2 big games last week. So it was, the front end was the end of 3 games in 5 days. And then we had the back end with Northern Arizona. And so I guess I can just quick recap on Montana State. Went on the road and actually really felt good about our first half performance. I think it was a 6 or 8 point game at halftime. And we had, I thought our bench really stepped up. It was a loss for us, but a lot to take away from that game, as Montana State right now is the #1 team in the conference. So still a lot of growth from our side, but I thought Claire Frazier gave us some great minutes, some points, put some points on the board for us. Nia Hall did as well, Heather Bayman off the bench. So I thought the bench was really good and ready to go that game. And then we flew back and had a couple of days of prep for Northern Arizona, which is a very good team in our league, young team, but has the league's leading scorer in Naomi White. And big picture of that game is we had the lead. We held the lead most of the game. Thought we started off a little bit slow, but gained some momentum in the third quarter. Julia Raleigh came in starting that third quarter, hit some buckets for us. I thought Tatum was tremendous on the boards for us, rebounding, as she continues to be one of the top rebounders in the league. And then just collective scoring. I think if you look at the box score, 4 or 5 people, probably 4 were in double figures, others below that, but just it was collective effort on the offensive end to get us that win, and really proud of how we finished the week out.
Oh, we just kind of talked, so I don't really have a ton.
I have some.
For you, Kristen. I'm sorry. I wrote something for today.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Against NAU, like you just said, you had balanced scoring, strong offensive control in the second half. What set the tone for that performance here at the big Colorado Arena?
I want to say there's some focus behind it, but we had to refocus a little bit. It was mostly, we felt like, from the defensive game plan. With Naomi White, of just giving her I think she had 15 points at half, and she's a very, very good player, very good scorer. But I think we got a little bit from our game plan. They were in a zone the entire game against us, and we knew we would be seeing something like that pretty soon. We kept talking about it, so it wasn't a surprise to us, but always just a little bit of adjustment when you're seeing different defenses throughout the game. But I just think there's some maturity within our team, the players, to step up in these moments, knock down the shots, do what we need to do to get the win, and I think ultimately that's what we had, was some consistency behind all of that.
You're kind of starting to move into that second half of Big Sky play, kind of right at the halfway mark. What do you want to see your team continue to build on as the season moves forward? There's
a lot of growth, a lot of growth. We, talk about it a lot as a staff of, here's what we do, but how can we elevate what we do and do what we do even better? And what does that even mean? Because I just said a lot of lingo. There's the offensive side of the ball. And there's a defensive side of the ball, and every night you see different defenses, so that affects your offense, right? And we're just continuing to look for a steadiness behind our players, consistency with how we show up, and on the defensive end is how disruptive can we be, because we have a lot of players that like to play defense. They like to fly around and dictate the ball and be disruptive. So I think there's a hunger that has to stay, and it's got to be lasting, because I think these next 2 games are really big, and we're not close to the halfway mark, but we really are, because we have these final 2 games to get us through the first half of the stretch. And I know we'll talk about Idaho, but both teams are very, very good, very skilled basketball teams that we're going to play this week. So as we get done, we're going to really reflect, and this is probably a good question for even next week, on where we're at as a team. What is it going to take to have that second half punch in our league.
Yeah, and then you kind of led into it, but if you want to kind of preview Idaho, and I know you probably haven't looked at Eastern much right now, but what that looks like for you this week.
Yeah, but both teams really good, and yes, the main focus is on Idaho. I'll work backwards. Eastern, always a solid team. Their coaching staff does a phenomenal job. All the players can shoot it. They're skilled, and actually, they're one of the better rebounding teams in our league. If you look at O boards, they have the league's leading rebounder in Courtney Grossman, who just does a phenomenal job. So we will go travel there on Friday to Eastern, so right after we play Thursday. But to this Thursday's game against Idaho. You know, Idaho's sitting, you know, a half a game, I guess maybe it is, behind Montana State. And so this is a big game for us in conference standings, even though there's still a lot of basketball to be played. But we get Idaho here on our home court first. What do they do really well? They can score the basketball, and they do it at a very, very fast pace in which they play. They also are one of the top in the league, if not the top, in rebounding, offensive rebounding. So as much as they're getting shots up, they're also going and grabbing some of those misses and putting them back up too. So I think that will be a key area for us to focus on, you know, as we get out there on the court against them. It's an early game for us, so that'll be a little bit different prep for both teams, 12 p.m. start. We're really excited to have our District 6, if I can spit that out, District 6, you know, youth come and join us. I think that's a great opportunity for youth to get on a college campus, see a basketball game, whether they like basketball or not, and just, you know, see UNC and all that we have to offer here. So we're really excited about that opportunity. But back to Idaho, we're going to have our hands full. They're a very, very good team.